Tired of replaying the same game 800 times? Tired of going over the same video game soundtracks forever? Then Undertale Fangames are the way to go. Who am I kidding? You're mostly getting the good old fight system with some bizarre Araki poses in the middle, accompanied by the same tunes with a few notes touched up, which is not to say Undertale Fangames aren't a good alternative for Toby Bear's fans, they are. Some are actually great. But I know, you don't want me to waste your time like the rest. Undertale Last Breath seems to take off within your typical genocide route. Turns out it's not one route, but 30. Until Gaster gets tired of the player's crap and tries convincing Sans to help him end it. Sure, Sans didn't quite trust him back at first, until instead of words, Gaster gave him the full experience. Sans crashed out and pulled up, while he promised to stop the loop even if it took fighting to his last breath. The combat starts in a very similar manner to the original Undertale, except for the heavier difficulty and new lines, but everything changed for real when Sans tanks a hit to the chest, and just like that, with 0.001 HP left, he stands his ground and gives us an even harder time, blocking our attacks with a chicken bone, until his energy goes on sabbatical and he goes to sleep as well, giving us a chance to attack, but Gaster takes over Sans' body, making us withstand a super long combo where Sans, or Gaster, is throwing everything he has at us. As expected, Sans isn't getting any less tired, so we can finally strike, putting an end to the fight. Then we reach Asgore, who is finally taking things seriously, hitting us with a surprise headshot, causing a somewhat happy ending. This fan game is excellent, not hard enough to frustrate you, but not voice plays either. The soundtrack is incredible and we can see the love behind the sprites and animations. In this fan game, the end of the Xeno road develops normally, up to a point where we face Chara, who as per usual asks us to delete the world. If we say no and fight back, expect Chara to get triggered, thus starting the fight with Chara, who's wielding the real knife. And yes, pretty much all their attacks are based around that. During the fangame, Chara will narrate details about the lore, their points of view regarding certain events, and their plan to free the monsters. The music is peak, very fit for a character-driven fangame like this, which isn't too hard to beat. The point is to enjoy the design and the several endings, which includes a pacifist route that also ends in a world-deleting fashion. But if we take the Geno route instead, Chara plays Rip to trick us into a cage and end us. A great fangame with lots of work behind the scenes. No doubt this fangame deserves to be tried. Another of the most well-known fan games. Yeah, that one where the otaku dinosaur gets tired of being useless and stands against the player to stop him. But of course, if she simply showed up, we would one-shot her. For that reason, she injects some kind of determination and uses endurance accessories, avoiding to end up like her failed class experiments. That's how Alphys becomes Alphys New. But there is no external change. This familiar-looking Alphys fights with pieces of the core puzzles, Metaton attacks, and even Gaster blasters. Once her life bar is down to 0, Alphys will try her hand with her last energy, performing a final attack that consumes her, slightly deforming her more and more until the attacks stop. And then she realizes herself the damage that's been done in her experiments, the pain that she inflicted to her subjects. The combat ends soon after. This is a very approachable challenge with a masterpiece theme. If you told me this was the best fangame song, I tend to agree. This fangame adapts the alternate universe of Story Shift, where several characters have swapped roles. For instance, Chara does what Sans wants, but we don't find them in the jury room. Chara waits us in the one and only core. This combat isn't some From Software insanity. It has solid sound work, but the craziest thing is its polished look and art style. Everything goes down in a single Chara turn. We wait until Chara is distracted by an alarm and we send them to the recycle bin. Sadly, it's not a fangame that lasts long, but it deserves to be here for being so neatly done. Quality over quantity. Yeah, I know, it was obvious. I know it's not the best fan game of all time. It has caused controversy sometime, but it is what it is. It's my video. This fan game justifies a fight encounter in the most random way possible, which is getting lost in a place nobody believed possible, where we'll find Red, a member of the Royal Guard. If we try to befriend her, Body Red short-circuits and become an average slasher film trope. This woman carries saws, bombs, swords, and his most iconic ability, splitting the battlefield in two to stop us from getting closer. If we chat him enough, he'll stop fighting, thus spawning a pseudo-friend. But if we go berserk mode, Red's mask will break and she will take the fight very seriously. Just like in Undertale, he gives us a final chance, pulling out two deceased royal guards to fight for her. They will attack with projectiles, bullets, and both orange or blue lasers. As expected, Red is much more aggressive in this route, but like in every Geno route, we end up knocking her and she sadly passes. Goodbye, Red. Will be missed. No doubt the best thing about this fan game is how it maintains the aesthetic essence of Undertale, featuring simplistic elements, thus memorable elements for the most part, very unlike some other more exaggerated fan games in this list. It's simple, with personality and exciting music, exactly like Undertale. This fan game is a classic that's still worthy of its fame. Possibly the most iconic Undertale fan game of all time. In this story, Papyrus trades roles with Sans, meaning we find Sans at the end of Snowdin, where he states he's there to avoid losing his brother one more time. And Papyrus awaits for us in the Great Corridor. Having learned how to use the Gaster Blasters and anything that will help him finish his mission, we can see he's wearing Sans hoodie and ready to give us a lesson. In the first phase, Papyrus still believes we're worth saving and tries not to harm us. He defends himself using his bone to block our attacks. Once we've hit the Undertale Hypno enough times, his bone breaks and gives start to phase 2. Where Papyrus holds the broken bone pieces and shows a very vengeful side of him, as if he lost hope about us ever changing. After struggling for a while, Papyrus gives up, until he remembers he is the Great Papyrus, and gets a diabolical power-up, thus starting phase 3 where he'll bring Sans and Undyne's illusions to haunt us. This phase goes insane. The three of them literally start playing ping pong until they realize they won't hurt us, and attempt talking reason one last time. Last phase is the pure iconic essence of Papyrus. Rather than harming us, it looks more like Papyrus is playing along. And although there's several endings, the most sensical would be another amazing fan game full of charisma and surprises in its fight, which in a sense is more spectacular than challenging, but the sprites are pure gold, as its music. What to say? This fan game is a must play, approved by the Scout and company. If you got any other fan game or fan battles you consider important or worth recommending, feel free to leave them down below in the comments.